Hi, and welcome to today's July 10th Stimulus Check 2 and Stimulus Package Update. I want to cover some good news and some bad news in regards to the stimulus check and the next stimulus package. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. Today is my father's birthday. He is a great dad, and I would like to publicly say happy birthday, Dad. Okay, I want to share some highlights from an interview with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. In the interview, he discussed the $600 unemployment money, and he discussed direct stimulus checks to the people. He said regarding the next stimulus, "We're discussing the criteria with the Senate and had a productive talk with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The Trump administration will work on a bipartisan basis with Republicans and Democrats on the bill." Mnuchin said, adding, "It is a priority to have legislation passed." Mnuchin said, "We do support another round of economic impact payments." That's another way of saying stimulus checks to the people. Speaking of the $600 federal unemployment bonus, Mnuchin said, "The administration supports changing rather than extending the provision." He did not give much more detail than that, although he did say, "You can assume that it will be no more than 100% of a worker's usual pay." So it looks like the IRS and the Treasury may be rolling back unemployment, the weekly amount of unemployment, back to what you were making previous to the lockdown and this crisis that we've gone through. So, it's not going away completely, but it looks like it's more of an indemnification process where they want to bring you back to where you were, and then that will give you incentive to go find that job. So more details coming on that, but that's what he discussed in an interview recently. While discussing money for businesses, Mnuchin said, "The White House is also in favor of extending more PPP money to small businesses, but it will be much, much more targeted." Think how many businesses and employees could have been helped just by using the money that some celebrities and large businesses took from the PPP fund. As I'm reading more and more about who took PPP money, it has made my blood pressure rise because there are families losing their homes and slipping into poverty while wealthy people from Hollywood are cashing in on millions. It's just disgusting to me. Mnuchin said he would like to see the new bill discussed and passed by the Senate between July 20th and July 31st, so not too far from now. Mnuchin reiterated, "We do support another round of economic impact payments." Okay, so now for some potentially bad news. I say potentially because we just don't have a definitive answer, but I feel like I owe it to my community to communicate to you what our government leaders are discussing behind closed doors. Senate leaders have said they are weighing whether to lower the income cap on the next stimulus check to those that make $40,000 a year or less. But they say we have not made a final decision. I think that this would be a huge mistake to cut off assistance to over 20 million Americans. This lockdown and economic disaster has affected everyone. Yes, I believe that those that earn less than $40,000 a year definitely need assistance. But those that make a little bit more than that have higher bills. They were also affected. I don't know why they don't just stick to the original income cap of $75,000 for an individual and $150,000 for a couple. It makes sense. Just stick with what works, guys. Lowering the income cap would ensure that you inflict greater harm on the middle class, and it is the middle class that ultimately makes the United States of America unique. I think it's a bad move if they do that. The American Hospital Association has asked Congress to give hospital workers $5,000 bonus tax credits. Now, more information will be coming out about that, but that's the extent of what I've seen as far as these hospital lobby groups going to Congress and asking for money. As I know more, I'll share more. Michigan Treasurer Rachel Eubank on Wednesday announced 2 new grant programs offering a total of $300 million in hazard pay to first responders that worked during the coronavirus pandemic. It still needs to be passed, and you would have to file for a grant and prove that you were deserving of that hazard pay. The reason that I share this, I know that many of you don't live in Michigan. I don't live in Michigan, but I share this because I believe that other states will follow this example. And with the next bill being targeted on getting money to state and local governments, some of that money may be used for hazard pay or essential workers. Sadly, as of right now, there's almost been no chat for 45 days about money for hazard pay or essential workers. So I haven't forgotten you, but you're not being discussed, and that's a shame. Larry Kudlow of the White House said, "We're working on a large-scale package, and direct checks are probably going to be a part of it as far as the president is concerned right now." He then said the checks may need to be more targeted. So I've been thinking about writing another letter to President Trump and also to the Senate to express my thoughts and feelings, some of the ideas that I have. Just being a voice, I feel like they're not hearing us, and it's very frustrating. I know many of you enjoyed the letter that I sent last time. I have not heard back from anybody, but it is my opinion that it did reach top officials, but they did not respond. But do you think another letter would help? If I do write one, do you guys want to be a part of that in some way? Do you want to hear the letter? Let me know. I'm happy to share it with my YouTube community if it's something you want. So let me know in the comments. I just want to make sure that they're hearing us. I feel like they are so disconnected from the American people. All right. Hey, if you found this video helpful up to this point, will you do what you always do and give this video a like? I sure appreciate it. And that's what YouTube uses to decide whether they're going to share this video or not. And I also appreciate the fact that most of you share this on Facebook and social media. Okay, I also have to say, I find it very irritating that the government keeps saying that the direct stimulus checks need to be more targeted when it has become so obvious how untargeted the PPP program was. Some of these businesses won't even be coming back into existence, and yet they got tens of thousands of dollars. The money that was supposed to go to small businesses, we are now seeing ended up in the hands of celebrities and companies that did not need bailout money, but took it because they legally could. It wouldn't shock me if some of these companies, after being shamed publicly, return that money. Meanwhile, truly small businesses are struggling, cutting back employee hours, dealing with layoffs, or going out of business altogether. If there is more PPP money approved, I hope and pray that it will truly go to the small businesses that employ half of those that live in the United States. If you are a small business, please try to get that PPP money or the EIDL money. I know that many of you haven't been able to access that. It's there for you. Please reach out and get that. Over the weekend, our family has plans, but I'm going to try to sneak away to do some words of encouragement. If there is another update, I will make that update. Otherwise, if there's not, I'm not going to make one until Monday. I want to wish everybody in the community a happy weekend, and I want to remind you as we go into the weekend that you are amazing. And I so appreciate you being in my community, and I will see you on the next video.